feel at the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis.
Attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain?
Well, it's really all about skills.
Tank can do the same thing the mentor did. That's what the mentors, they teach you how to do this thing the smart way.
Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather was reportedly left stunned after witnessing Gervonta Tank Davis' dramatic physical transformation ahead of his highly anticipated showdown with Jake Paul. Known for his explosive power and compact frame, Davis now appears noticeably bulkier and more powerful, a shift that has both fans and insiders buzzing. Mayweather, who once mentored Tank, couldn't hide his surprise at the fighter's new physique, suggesting that the added muscle could either be a game-changing advantage or a risky move that might compromise his signature speed and stamina.
Can't even see who it is. Yeah. Who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there is why Gervonta Davis fights don't go the distance.
Gervonta Davis will step into the ring with Jake Paul for an exhibition clash on November 14th in Miami. What's surprising many observers is the glaring difference. In size and weight, Davis, typically competing in much lighter divisions, faces a man who regularly weighs between 190 and 195 pounds and boasts significant advantages in height and reach. Despite that, Davis seems unfazed, viewing this fight as an opportunity rather than a disadvantage.
I was training for something like this. Obviously, smaller guy. How was this in the training aspect, Jake?
Yeah, just a lot of punching down, practicing, hitting below my knees, and a lot of speed. We're sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds.
one thing.
I got
If
the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat yo, and I'm gonna beat Jaden on Love it. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. You know, he laughing.
What are you talking about?
What
does he have to do with this?
Let anything. You know what I'm talking about. Let anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't gotta say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'ma show you and him.
Though some dismiss the bout as a spectacle built on hype and entertainment, those close to Davis insist he's taking this challenge extremely seriously. Reports from his training camp describe a fighter who's laser-focused, disciplined, and mentally locked in his composure in media. Appearances calm, deliberate, and confident reflects a man on a mission. For Davis, this isn't about the paycheck, it's about legacy, pride, and expansion. A victory over Jake Paul could elevate his mainstream profile, bridging the gap between hardcore boxing followers and global pop culture audiences. While critics label the event a circus, Tank appears determined to control the narrative, proving he can merge commercial success with authentic competition.
Press conference, and you can tell, you can just look at him and tell, like, no, this dude he's gonna get this money for sure, because there's so much money out there to be had. But Jake Paul better be not playing around, man. Not get cute, not play any games, don't hit him in the back of the head, don't rabbit punch him, don't do any of that stuff, man, because Mike Tyson, first of all, Mike Tyson, a lot of people think Mike Tyson was pulling punches on Jake Paul, and a lot of people think that Anderson Silva was pulling punches on him too. You're not gonna have a little Gervonta out there pulling punches on you, man, if you're out there playing games. So, you know, I don't like the fight at all. However, as far as it being an entertaining situation, I almost guarantee you that fight itself is going to be entertaining. That it's going to be something that you look at and you're going to say, man, everybody's going to watch it. Everybody's going to want to know what happens in it. But at the same time, it's kind of like what people think, you know, when you see a car crash. Like, you're driving down the road and all of a sudden the traffic gets heavy and you're like, man, I'm going to be in traffic for a long time. And then you drive forward a little bit and then you see, oh man, this is some accident on the other side of the road and everybody just slowing down to watch. That's the type of entertainment that you can expect from this fight between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. There's going to be a lot of people watching it, but I gotta say, man, you really can't blame the guy on what he's doing. And there's a lot of criticism flying on Gervonta Davis. It's not Gervonta Davis's fault that boxing took this turn. This turn of these exhibition fights and people not caring about the belts and all of that stuff came with Floyd Mayweather Jr., man.
Mayweather has often reminded fans that Davis isn't just a power puncher, as a complete boxer. Floyd has long called him one of the hardest hitters in his division, yet warned that power without precision timing and defense is a dangerous path. Tank has the skills to be pound-for-pound elite, Mayweather once said, emphasizing that intelligence and movement define great fighters more than brute strength.
Well, Nui deserved to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Davis? He deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
Mayweather played a central role in Davis' early career signing, him under Mayweather Promotions and guiding him through the highs and lows of fame. He wasn't just a promoter, he was a mentor, teaching Davis about ring composure, tactical thinking, and business acumen. But by 2022, their relationship had fractured. What began as mentorship evolved into tension with Tank, accusing Floyd of trying to control his every move and limit his growth outside Mayweather's shadow.
You black, giving back. So I was working with, I got a fighter, one of the best fighters out there today, Gervonta Davis. I got it when he was young. I put him in a position. Now he's three-time world champion.
The rift between them goes beyond business. Davis has openly accused Mayweather of being manipulative, claiming he placed him in lose-lose situations and restricted his financial independence. Floyd never really celebrated anyone else's success. Davis once remarked, expressing frustration that his former mentor seemed threatened by his rise.
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. Why the say Terence Crawford should fight? Finna be there. That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
Next in line. This will be next in line.
Is there like a
Last question, guys.
is there like a love-hate for Floyd though? Like,
yeah,
the fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. Cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
According to Tank, Mayweather's ego often overshadows the humility expected from a boxing icon. When praised as one of the greatest, Floyd famously corrected a reporter declaring he was the greatest ever. This obsession with legacy, Davis suggests, sometimes clouds Mayweather's ability to acknowledge other fighters' greatness.
You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating?
Okay.
Well, we want to know in the least amount of fights. I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Just a guy with a job. I have a job, though. So who would you fight next?
And guess what? Your job don't pay like my job.
Well, it depends.
Your job don't pay like my job.
It brings me to another point.
Why are you coming back? I can make $200 million in 18 months because I want to. Because I want to come back and steal some more money. I'm in a whole new era, dominating
That's right.
fights.
And he's a whole new fighter, Floyd.
A whole new fighter.
Oh yeah.
And when I beat him, what they gonna say? Oh well, we knew this was gonna happen. Floyd Mayweather was a bigger fighter, or he could outbox him, or this. It's always excuses.
Bernard Hopkins was blunt in his assessment of Mayweather's impact on Davis's early career. He argued that Tank's progress was stifled not by lack of talent, but by Floyd's overpowering presence. Hopkins described Mayweather's control as restrictive warning that mentorship built on ego often limits true development. Tank had to break free to become his own man. Hopkins said a pointed critique from one of boxing's most respected veterans.
I commend Tank on saying, hey, this is my career, you had yours. I respect you from buying me a chain, buying me this, buying me that, take me on a jet. Now, all that's great, but at the end of the day, I'm only going by his interview. You seen it and I seen it. Thank you, Floyd Mayweather, for all the things you gave me. If the intentions was you just looking out for me. But I got an opportunity to fight this big fight. And this soap opera between you and Oscar for all these years, I'm not gonna let it affect me. That's my interpretation. And Tank wants to do the fight, but he had to break away from the chains of somebody he still respects and respected then. And he said, man, I gotta do what I gotta do. This is my career.
Meanwhile, Roy Jones Jr. sees Davis' decision to face Jake Paul as a calculated career move. He likened it to Mayweather's own strategy balancing risk with financial reward. It's business mixed with ambition, Jones said, acknowledging that while it's not the most traditional matchup, it's a smart way to boost visibility and income. For Jones, Davis is following a blueprint of controlled risk, one that Mayweather himself once mastered.
You can do the same thing the mentor did. That's what the mentor is for, to teach you how to do this thing the smart way and not get you hurt, not have to take no risk, not to take many chances. Everybody had their own mentors, their own pound for pounds, their own people they want to be like. If you want to be like that guy that y'all say is great and was one of the best ever, why can't he do it? If he make 50 to 100 million fights Jake Paul, they'll be cool with it because they cool with you making money. That's what the fan bases are on now. They happy with you just making money being good. Back in our day, they won't be cool with that. You had to prove you was the best. They thought you fought because you wanted to be the best of the division or the best of your era. I want to be the best in my division. As a matter of fact, I want to be the best around my division. Not just in my division, even around my division, I want to be the best. Today's fighters, they have been taught that that's not going to do it nowadays. Nowadays, go for the bag. So everybody is going for the bag.
Trainer Greg Hackett voiced his frustration. With the criticism surrounding Davis' choice, he believes fans have become too judgmental, often forgetting the personal and professional factors influencing fighters' decisions. People act like they own the fighters, Hackett said. They don't see the sacrifice or the grind. He urged fans to respect Davis' autonomy and appreciate the work that goes into maintaining top-level form, criticizing social media for turning boxing into a constant spectacle of outrage.
And number 3, the retirement.
I mean, the backlash is just what people do nowadays. That's just, you give somebody a keyboard, you give them a phone, and they able to hide their face. Yeah, they gonna have a field day. The backlash I get, I understand. Would you say number 2, not fight Shakur?
Yeah, he's saying he'll never fight Shakur, that he ain't gonna do him no favors, that he ain't gonna help him make no money because Shakur broke or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't get all that. That's, you know what I mean? That's against the game. Like, you know what I mean? You at least owe that fight for the game. You know what I mean? You owe the rematch to Lamont for the game. But you owe Shakur for the game just because of the 2 style matchups, you know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't gotta fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it. But it is kind of crazy. It is kind of corny, you know what I'm saying? If he not gonna fight Shakur, and if he's standing on it like, I'm not ever gonna fight you, I'm not doing you no favors, and all right. But then again, you know what? I don't know what them guys got going on. I don't know what they been through personally, you know what I'm saying? But would I love to see that fight? Hell yeah, I would love to see that. And then number 3, you said what? You said retirement. Oh, boxing. Boxing. They're around. There's always bells around. It's on you. It's on you. I'm chilling. You all right? Yeah, get with me. I know. How you feel? Darkskin boy. That's my man. The retirement is like he done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot. this whole experience is a lot. The shit these fighters go through is hard to explain. It's hard to explain because people, they can't see it, so they can't understand it. But it's stressful to the fighters because they coming from just getting ready to fight in the amateurs, being prepared, going out there, win, get it done, celebrate. All right, we back to the next camp. To now, marketing. You're talking about marketing. You're talking about lawyers. You're talking about all this shit that you just never imagined. You like, why do I have to deal with it?
Former world champion Paulie Malignaggi offered a more traditionalist critique. He believes the Davis-Paul exhibition undermines boxing's authenticity, blurring the line between sport and showbiz. According to Malignaggi, such events confuse casual fans, making them believe they're watching legitimate contests, when in truth, they're designed for entertainment. Speaking with Chris Algieri, he argued that while these bouts generate buzz, they risk eroding the sport's purity and historical credibility.
Paulie, knockouts, dude. Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture.
You can't manufacture.
To a degree, you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist, if he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. The way
Paulie,
we did when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know, the way they did when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
But by your standard, you could say that Tyson was to a degree manufactured.
No, because he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time fought.
Teddy Atlas will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of
Witherspoon. That were afraid of him.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you going to fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone.
In contrast, popular boxing commentator, Showbiz, the adult, struck a more optimistic tone. Initially skeptical about Davis' size disadvantage, he changed his stance after watching Davis' confidence and sharpness at press events. He looks locked in. Showbiz remarked, praising Tank's professionalism and composure. He believes the fight could surprise many who underestimate Davis, suggesting that skill, not size, might ultimately determine the outcome.
Listen, I was feeling that Jake Paul was going to knock out Tank. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. No cap. I know Tank wasn't saying much, fumbling over his words, seems bashful, but I'm looking, right? And I'm just like, bro, he doesn't feel that Jake Paul is an issue. Even though he said it, he doesn't feel like he has to whoop his ass. He doesn't feel threatened. That's the word. He doesn't feel threatened, but he does feel out of his element. I'm gonna be honest, man. It sounds like, I know everybody's looking at this press conference and it's like, number one, I know what y'all saying. It's a clown show. It's not real. Tank was paid off. It's fake. Cause Tank, when he was talking about Jake and JB, even I was like, what is he talking about?
He left.
What are you talking about? What does he have to do with this?
Let anything, you know what I'm talking about. Let anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has been outspoken about Davis' decision to fight Paul instead of pursuing Tougher competition like Lamont Roach Jr. or Shakur Stevenson Hearn claims Davis opted for the bigger paycheck, estimating a $30-40 million payday over more meaningful legacy fights. If he wanted a real test, head fight Stevenson Hearn said, arguing that Shaker's precision patience and boxing IQ would pose a serious challenge.
If you were Tank's promoter, what would the next step be for Tank?
I heard they were going to fight Jake Paul. When I see Jake Paul at the event and I see Jake Paul posting from the private jet with a picture of Gervonta Davis.
Slapped it.
Yeah, but they had that for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You had to buy it, you had to get it made.
Yeah, but I can't believe that fight was going to happen. But anyway, crazy stuff's happening. Yeah, you got to rematch Lamont Roach. You got to. It'll probably get ordered. That's the reality by the New York State Athletic Commission. But listen, they may have got lucky because the only fight for Tank outside of after Lamont Roach was Shakur Stevenson.
Facts.
Right? Now they've got another opponent that will do well at the gate because of the controversy.
Yep.
And it ain't Shakur Stevenson. I keep telling people Shakur Stevenson beats Tank. You cannot say that Shakur Stevenson would not have beaten Tank last Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he would have.
14 former champion Timothy Bradley holds the opposite view, calling the fight an easy money opportunity for Davis. He praised Tank's superior speed timing and defensive awareness, predicting that Jake Paul's inexperience will be exposed early. The only danger Bradley cautioned is underestimating him. For Bradley, this matchup reflects a new era in boxing, one where traditional skill meets modern celebrity power, with Gervonta Davis standing right at the crossroads.
To say that it ain't fixed, because check this out, Tank ain't gonna lose this fight. Hell no. Hell no. Tank ain't losing this fight. Too many holes. Man, Jake don't have enough experience. Yeah, man, this gonna be taking candy from a baby. You know, Jake is missing the rules. See, this what happens when you don't grow up in the game. When you don't grow up in the game, man, at a young age, this is what happens. You know, you start reading your own press clippings. That's what Jake is doing. You know, fighting this lower level competition, and now he think he the ish. Now he think he the man. He ain't the man. You kidding me? He is not the man. Oh no. Yeah. False sense of security. Now he trying to pick on small folks, right? You know, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Yeah, I'm just saying size-wise. Yeah, that's another thing, boxing one-on-one.
That's for today. Video subscribe for more.